things about the split stick figure 4 is that it's got a modularity in size, meaning that I can scale these trap triggers up as big or as little as I want for whatever kind of game I'm going for. And as you can see, for this timber log deadfall, this is a much larger, and this is my arm, so it's about the size of my arm. So you scale these trap triggers up depending on your needs. When making a timber deadfall such as this, you're going to need some large logs, and this is already set up on our survival trapping course, but it really doesn't take long to build one. All you need is a couple of logs. You need a Corona saw like I've got, or any kind of folding saw will cut logs this large, and then you want to drive some large stakes right in front of it. And you don't necessarily have to have 2 trees as a backing. It just makes it a little bit simpler and less work. But if you didn't have these, you would just drive stakes on the other side. In order to have a place to secure our bait so that the animal can't get directly to it, we've just made a little bait hooch, and this is nothing more than a tiny little debris hut, and we've kind of secured the base of it with rocks so that stuff doesn't just dig into it. And we want to make the front the most likely avenue of. You can also use rotten logs or any kind of hollow opening or hole, and this, to throw your bait into, and this can also be set up as a trail trigger. Setting this trap trigger is a little bit more difficult doing it solo. It's better as a 2-man operation, but it can definitely be done by yourself. So get your trap trigger already assembled in your hand. Lift this log up. Make sure the base is secure, and then all the weight is controlled on a lever bar here in my right hand. When making this trap trigger, it's essential that your notch or your trigger bar be facing towards the inside of the bait hooch. Remember, this is a directional trap. Remember that we can adjust our sensitivity by pivoting the trigger stick out closer to the edge of the base. Now that the trigger is set, we've got to bait it. And bait can be a lot of things, and it varies according to your environment. But in all my Scout survival kits, I always carry a little bit of peanut butter or something similar, something that I can use as a bait source that is also a calorie as well. And everything loves peanut butter, guys, so you could jam a stick in the ground out here, something a little smaller, closer to the ground, smear some peanut butter on it. You could put it on the trigger, or you could put it in the back. But as far as primitive is concerned, the best thing to use here would be guts. When you go fishing, save your entrails from different stuff and then throw them in your bait pins like this. And notice that I left all the sticks on the trigger system, and you can make this even fluffier than I have here. I've cut all these the sticks off of it and debarked it for showing purposes, but you could literally just cut a tree branch with all the leaves still on it and put it all the way across the opening here. And that makes it more difficult for smaller animals to push through and get your bait. Now, one thing that you can do to beef up this trap trigger or deadfall is I can actually, once I get the trigger system set, then I can make a ramp of logs and continually add more and more weight on this depending on how large of a deadfall I need for the game that I'm going after. So always remember that the deadfall should be 4 to 5 times the weight of the animal that you're trying to kill. And then if you have the option, this is what's known as an anvil piece. If we were to try to do this directly into the ground, it wouldn't have near as great a killing effectiveness. So we put this on here to be like a neck break. Once you set your bait out, you've got your appetizer in your front and your main entree back here in your bait pin or your hollow log or whatever you've got. Animal's going to push past through your trigger system in order to get at the food, and that's when he gets his neck broken. So that was the split stick figure 4 variation, and what a great trap it is, guys. And if you've got an interest in learning any of these skills, make sure to check out our website, check out some of these classes. Now, I can show you these videos all day long, but if you don't get dirt time, you're just never really going to get it. And you know, you can go out and spend time over months learning these traps, or you can attend a class and learn them in a day and have, you know, 30 trap triggers in the back of your mind. But as this Survival Trappers Bible series continues, we are going to just perpetually get more and more advanced and get into more snares, more deadfalls, more modern traps. So make sure you stick around, watch the entire series, and share it with your friends. And as always, we appreciate everything that you do for Sigma 3 Survival School.